Hey everybody, Coding Travel Bug here from the Philippines. Since I did a price video in Thailand, which is at the Villa Market, I thought I would do one here. This is Marketplace. These are kind of around Manila. These are the kind of equivalent of Villa Market in Thailand, which is a Western oriented kind of place. So this is where a lot of expats would come to buy stuff. This is in the basement of the Power Plant Mall, which is in Rockwell, Makati. So let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to try and do some of the same products I did in Thailand. Milk in the Philippines is unusual because it normally comes in these little pre-pasteurized like boxes, and I found one that's okay, but it's not the same as like the bottled milk. But it's hard to find actually in the Philippines. So it looks like low fat is 160, low fat 370. That's for 2 liters. So that's like $6, I think. Holy cow. That was like, yeah, $6.50 or something US for 2 liters of milk. That's got to be more than it was in Thailand. But that was for the the actual fresh milk. It's a little more than the carton stuff. I just found the coffee. That's 250 grams of coffee, 310. Yeah, something like $6 US or something. All right, next up, I found some cornflakes. This is a bit bigger box than in Thailand, 275 grams, 171 pesos. 350, something like that. Okay, so I have to throw this in. This is Spam, which is, the Filipinos love this stuff. Canned meats, luncheon meats, corned beef, stuff like that. So it's very savory kind of foods here they have. It's like a wall of meat. Actually, if you go to most places, most countries, if you go to the frozen foods, you'll see all kinds of fruits and veggies and stuff. But here in the Philippines, you'll see different walls of different kinds of hot dogs and things like that. It's it's very typically Filipino, but yeah, they love the Spam here. God, I even found some French fries. These are like wedge types. So these are probably pretty good. Yeah, these are US potatoes. These are $3.37, so that's about $5.80 for 1 kilogram of French fries. So this is kind of the same thing that was in Thailand. Okay, I also found some pork and beans, also from the Thailand video. I'm quite happy I found these because if you can't find pork and beans in the Philippines, I'd be massively disappointed. These are 61 pesos. That's like a little over $1 for a can. So canned meats, canned anything like that. They're going to love that stuff. Okay, so I did find one pasta sauce. I didn't see as much as I saw in Thailand. This is 600 something grams, 677 grams. For about 300 pesos. That's about $3. So that's not too bad. I still haven't found the other thing, which is taco shells and walnuts. So they seem to be absent here. I'll keep looking. They even have the turmeric I found. I bought this special in Thailand because I thought it might be, I know it's not super hard to find here, but it's just, easy to bring. But that's 80. So that's like a $1.40 or something. So that's not bad for a thing of spice, I think. I don't know. I don't cook, so I only use the turmeric for just, a supplement, but seems not bad. Okay, I found the meats, but I don't see sirloin, but there's a Canada beef top blade steak. I'm not really a steak guy. That's 1,200. I just did the math. So that's about $21 a kilogram for Canada beef blade steak. And then they also have here, they have some Australian ground beef. That is about just under $10 US for a kilogram. So one thing I find here is that in any grocery store, there's all kinds of fresh fruits and vegetables. So I assume people cook a lot because there's not a lot frozen, right? Which is very different. Maybe that's because, I grew up in Canada, the Canadian American way, there's a lot of frozen stuff. The Filipinos, based just on supermarkets, seem to prefer fresh stuff, which is a lot like in Thailand as well. I did find the freezer that has the fresh fruits and veggies, and it's pretty teeny. I'll show you now. So the veggie freezer is usually just, a few mixed veggies. Chopped spinach, cauliflower and cheese, that seems to be a big one. But that's it, just 4 freezers. They do have broccoli, that's good. That's a healthy. Broccoli is probably the healthiest thing you can eat in terms of vegetables. Then you get into the fruits. So they got a freezer and a half of veggies, fruits, and then those blueberries, they are about $7 for that tiny little package. So this is my favorite. This is San Miguel Pale Pills, but it usually comes in the little bottles. That's $1 a bottle. This is San Miguel Light, also good. This is like a favorite. I think women love this one. It's like apple flavored. This is the famous Red Horse. It's like super strong. Yeah, 6.9%. Beer's really gone up here. I remember, say 12 years ago when I was coming here almost every year. Me and my British buddy used to sit at a place called WG Diner on Makati Avenue. And we get like a bucket of something like 6 beers. And it was, I don't know, 200 pesos or something like that. Beer used to be cheaper than water. That's all changed now, but it's still pretty cheap, right? $1 a can. Yeah, I can live with that. Oh, I guess we can do Coke too. So that's about $1.20 for 1.5 liters. Yeah, they drink quite a bit of soda here in this country. And if you ask people, like, even in Thailand too, I'll ask guards and stuff, hey, can I get you a drink when I go to the 7-Eleven? And I'll say, do you want a Coke or something? They'll say, yeah. I say, Coke Zero or regular? They always say regular. They love the sugared one. Okay, I found the Doritos aisle. We got the small ones. These are 64, so that's about $1 a bag of Doritos. And the bigger ones, which are still not as big as the ones in Thailand, these are 190 grams. These are about $3. All right, so yeah, they don't have those huge bags like they have in Thailand. But again, they love the potato chips here. So actually, they have tons of kind of cool chips and stuff. Just walls of these things. And these are all kind of Filipino style. Like none of these, like these ones are great. These Nova ones, like I rarely eat them now. One, because I'm on Ozempic, so I'm not snacky like I used to be. But also because I am trying to lose weight. But yeah, they love the chips here. I've actually lost weight. I'm like down 10 kilograms. Okay, so I did find some walnuts, but it's like 100 grams for 185 pesos. That's like $3 for 100 grams of walnuts. Proving the point of my last video of why you should buy stuff that you for sure want to have on your trip, particularly consumables. Like I always bring like a half a kilogram of walnuts, which I've already gone through now in the last 2 months. Like I said, I've been here 2 months and I go home tomorrow. I think I finished them off just a few days ago. I just have a handful a day. So, bringing those with you, bringing things like that with you, like my protein powder, stuff like that. You appreciate it when you get here. Sometimes you can find stuff, sometimes you can't. But for a long stay, better to err on the side of caution. Okay, so they do have the shampoo, my brand, which I bought, and I think it's the same size of bottle. So 680 milliliters, that's 460 pesos, give or take, at 459 pesos. So the only thing outstanding that I haven't found is taco shells, which doesn't really affect things because when I put those taco shells in my last video from Thailand, I don't actually buy them. So I didn't buy those. So no harm, no foul. All right, so I think we're just about done. I'm gonna have a quick walk around and see if there's anything I need. Typically, I don't bring a lot back with me. I do have one thing. This is one thing I'm bringing back with me, which is chocolate oatmeal, because you cannot, oatmeal's not a thing in Thailand, and importing it is expensive. I know that stuff is not really healthy, but I think at the end of the night, if you have a small bowl of oatmeal, that's probably healthier than a bag of chips, even though there's sugar in it and stuff. But because I'm still basically a child in my brain, I only ever eat the chocolate one. They have one that I used to eat a lot. It's got maple syrup and honey or something, and brown sugar. That used to be my thing for years, but I can't find that anywhere now, not in Asia. So that's about it. If there's anything I've left off the list you'd like to know about, if you have any questions about Philippines grocery stores, anything like that, just leave a comment, and I'll see if I can find some information for you. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and my next stop, I'll be back in Thailand soon, tomorrow. Then I'll be in Japan for a bit, and then I'll be probably over to the Philippines. So more to come. Thanks for following along. Coding Travel Bug. Talk to you later. See ya.